Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com here for our second practice game with John Lukka Surprise. Here we have our Emrakul in our opening hand, otherwise it's a pretty good hand. We do have ways to discard cards, but we don't have any in our hand, unfortunately, so I think we're going to have to mulligan. And there's our discard outlet, but that's okay. We're definitely going to keep this. We have our turn 1 Ragavan, followed by Hierarch and Bitter Reunion, discard a land, hopefully draw what we need. So keep the Blood Crypt, Overgrown Tomb. Maybe we'll get rid of this Wooded Foothills for now. I always like to run out Ragavan first with this deck, primarily because it has the biggest upside, right? If our opponent doesn't have an answer, we get a hit in. If our opponent does have an answer, it gives us greater chances that our Ignoble Hierarch's going to live, which gives us the better chance of getting our Emrakul out on turn 3. So we're playing another land. We're very good at drawing lands. We could go ahead and do the Bitter Reunion. This turn, but I want us to increase our clock. We might draw Karn, see if it brings out another removal spell. If it doesn't, great. If it does, we have the Bitter Reunion. We'll pitch this Overgrown Tomb, probably Tarmogoyf. So John again. I'm telling you, man, John is making a comeback. Let's see what we draw. Lukka, Thoughtseize. Okay. So what we can do is Thoughtseize our opponent, see what they have going on, then do Bitter Reunion, have a land to play for this Tarmogoyf if we draw an answer. We'll need a Fatal Push. So we could Bitter Reunion first, because if we hit a Lightning Bolt, we can kill this Tarmogoyf. So we probably want to do that. Second Bitter Reunion. So we could play that. Hope to draw, get rid of this Beseju, and hope that we get. We'll need the fifth. Hope to hit the 5th land in the Lukka off the Bitter Reunion. I mean, our opponent's going to have answers for days in these colors, so we'll definitely need another red source. I think we're just going to go ahead and fire off this Thoughtseize, unfortunately. Bloodbraid Elf, Kolaghan's Command. Oh, okay. Well, we'll take the Kolaghan's Command for now. We'll play this Bloodstained Mire and pass the turn. So now we grew our Tarmogoyf by discarding the land too. Forgot about that part. So the Lightning Bolt would have done the job anyway. Either way, didn't matter. Bitter Reunion was going to come down that turn. We'll just go ahead and yield to instep. If you hear some screaming, that's my 3 kids plus a friend over, running around, going crazy. They dashed into Ragavan. All right. Oh man, we could have used that Karn. You know what's better than a Karn? A Lukka. And I don't think our opponent's going to have an answer to resolve Emrakul in Jund colors. So come on, Lukka. One time deck. Say that a lot. It's happened a lot. And it is a Lukka. Well, we're not going to be able to give it haste, but like I said, I'm not sure our opponent can, especially with a hand of Bloodbraid Elf. I don't think they're going to be able to resolve this. They do have... Alright, so we know their hand. Let's just go back in time a little bit. Bloodbraid Elf, they drew the Ragavan, so that means I think the coast should be clear here for us to get this Lukka down and make it into an Emrakul. Just how we drew it up, turn 4. It's not hasty, but it will hopefully get the job done. We're down to 7, so I imagine our opponent is hoping to. They have a chance here, right? They could Bloodbraid Elf, Lightning Bolt us. I mean, we're definitely not, our life total is, I just realized how low we are, so. Bloodbraid Elf, they really need to hit a Lightning Bolt here, I think, to have a chance. And, you know, 15 or 16 isn't 15. So we could attack with this Emrakul, annihilate their entire board, and still theoretically die to a top deck. They'll sandbag a land. What did they hit? Terminate. So that's a dead card. Do they even bother attacking? I mean, I know I would. You got nothing to lose. Might as well put us to 4. So whatever we draw, unless it's gonna, you know, Karn, we couldn't play what we fetched up, but we'll pitch it to the Bitter Reunion. See if we can draw it. Oh, dashed in Ragavan also will do the trick. We could plus up this Lukka, but we'll first. So yeah, 16 isn't 15. So that was an important top deck for us. So opponent will have to sack everything and they scoop it up. So yeah, our life total dropped dangerously low. They could have snuck out that win even after we resolved the Emrakul on turn 4. With all of our shocks and thought seizes and a couple hits they got in on us with the Tarmogoyf and Ragavan. So yeah, that was closer than it should have been, but turn 5 win with an attack in Emrakul. We had to get a little bit lucky with that Ragavan, but we would have annihilated our opponent's entire board, leaving them to draw play a land and hope to hit a lightning bolt, and we were at 4. So I think we're going to be safe no matter what. All right, John Dome John, let's see what we have on the board for this matchup. Leyline of the Void is a nice way to shrink their Tarmogoyfs. But what would we take out? Normally, from way back in the day when John was popular, in the mirror matchups, you always took out your Thought Seizes because they were the least impactful cards. This is not, we're not playing traditional Jund, even if our opponent seems to be. We're playing a combo Jund, so the Thought Seize we might need just to clear the way for sticking our Lukka and not having them bolt our higher arc when we go to turn it into Emrakul. I mean, lightning bolts seem good. I mean, Leyline is I don't know. I think it's just too unimpactful. I think we'd rather just stick to our plan. Probably bring in a lot of spot removal. They've seen the Karn, unfortunately. All right, run it back. Well, it's anytime you have a Lukka, unless your hand is unplayable, you like to keep it because that is our big combo piece. Yeah, but yet again, we have our Emrakul in our opening hand, which makes this hand largely unplayable. If we'd had a Bitter Reunion, it's a keep. So we have the land, we have the Ragavan, we have the Hierarch, we have our Lukka. I mean, we have everything we want except for mana. But I think we're going to try it. Well, I'm assuming our opponent, they kept 7. We could put the Karn to the bottom, or the Thoughtseize to the bottom. I don't know. After just talking about how impactful Thoughtseize is, I still think it might be the right play to put on the bottom. Let's see if they Thoughtseize us. Oh, Inquisition even better. What would you take? Just a few choices there. Depends. I mean, it's a really great hand if we hit some lands. A lot of good choices here. I mean, the Thoughtseize is of no threat to them currently. Ragavan is our biggest threat, and I assume they have some removal. Hierarch obviously ramps us. Bitter Union it digs us for answers. So they took the Falsies. It's our turn, and we hit a Hierarch. Yeah, so since we did not draw the land, we're going to play the Hierarch. Assume it's going to die. Hopefully we'll draw another land, and then we can play Hierarch Ragavan next turn. Oh, Shieldred's Edict. That's a good answer for our Emrakul. Greedy, though. They know we're on one land, though, so that's why. Come on, land. We really need a land here. It is not a land. It is a dead fatal push. So what we can do is... They don't know about our other Ignoble Hierarch. Man, we get max punished for this. We'd have gone to 4 ostensibly because of the Inquisition of Kozilek. We'll play the Ragavan. Maybe that was their last. Maybe that was their only removal spell. It'd been interesting why if they had any other removal spell, they would have used it, because Shieldred's Edict is exactly what they want against Emrakul. But they'll probably play a creature that can block here profitably, such as a Tarmogoyf. Or oh, they have another one. All right, fair enough. Land would be nice. Okay, well, this is the way this game's going, and that's tends to be when you keep a one-lander. So Bloodbraid, I imagine. I mean, it was a greedy keep. I will say that going to 5 against Hand Disruption deck isn't the greediest of keeps. I mean, we had a lot of 1-drops. And we just have gotten really unlucky to miss this every land on all of our turns. All right, Terra Sunder. Man, there's our land. So I mean, our opponent has brought in all the hate, and all of these cards answer our Emrakul. So that's good to see if we go to game 2, or game 3, I mean. Bitter Reunion, we finally hit our land. We'll pitch the Bolt. And we drew another land, so that's nice, but it's that land, and hopefully our opponent's just out of action. Ooh, Croxa. Now we have to discard, huh? What would we discard? Do we discard a land? I mean, we need the Fatal Push to kill the Croxa, which they can bring back next turn. Yeah, we're just really struggling at this point. Our opponents managed to answer everything we've cast into a card that then starts attacking our hand. I mean, our biggest answer is Lukka. Our best card is Lukka, but we don't even have the creatures to go with it. If Fatal Push answers it, we need the land. The Karn is the first thing we can cast. So do we pitch the Lukka? I mean, that's seems crazy, doesn't it? And we're going to have to get rid of the Karn. Sad face. What's the follow-up? Tarmogoyf. Well, we need a land and we need removal. So let's hope for another Fatal Push. And that's exactly what we got. But unfortunately, we only have the 1 black source. And it comes into play untapped. Or sorry, tapped. So now our opponent's probably going to get back the Croxa, leaving us with the damned if we do, damned if we don't type of choice, where we basically will need to pitch our Lukka to have a chance at this game, because we'll need to Fatal Push both of their threats. And we only have the 1 black source, so we're not even going to be able to do it. Yeah. I mean, 1 land, mull to 6, didn't want to go to 5, and this is what happens sometimes. Okay. At least it didn't even shrink the Tarmogoyf because of our graveyard. All right, so we're definitely going to pitch the Lukka, unfortunately. It makes me so sad, but we need to be able to answer the board just to survive. They're down to 1 card, we're down to 2. We have an answer to what they have. We're hoping to draw That's the problem when you're missing lands. As long as we've had is just you're needing lands and spells to have a chance. And we drew the forest as opposed to another black source. So we're looking for hopefully another land, hopefully a black source. Ragavan. All right, so that's a pretty good draw for us if our opponent doesn't have a removal spell. Because what it'll allow us to do is dash the Ragavan in, get the treasure, fatal push the Tarmogoyf with the treasure. Although honestly, we may not. And their last spell is a fatal push, it looks like. Okay. All right. Well, we're into top deck wars. We're going to be at effectively 10. See what they end up getting. Oh, and we would have had to sacrifice it. Let's say we could have just given it haste, but that's the footfall crater. Yep. Hopefully our opponent will have as bad luck to end the game as we've had to begin the game. So now we need a land. Second Tarmogoyf. It's a great draw for them. There is our land. So we're quickly running out of time. This game is, we were just missed too many land drops. Dash into Ragavan. Opponent's running hot right now. Wow. Running hot. So we missed, we kept the one lander, went no land, no land. I think we hit a land on turn 3. Our opponent had nothing but removal, had the threat, the Crocs and the Tarmogoyf, and then drew into another Tarmogoyf and a Ragavan just in time. I mean, they have ran super hot. We ran super cold, and that's the way it is sometimes. And now we are dead. We don't have any way out of this. We don't have a single draw that will get us out of 2 creatures. So yeah, we could play this, shock ourselves. They used to let you do that. Oh, they still do. Good. I guess you can't, they don't let you do the fetch land. Yeah, I mean, really, really unfortunate that we didn't hit lands, and maybe that's the lesson learned. You just have to suck it up and go to 5. Yeah, unlucky. All right, well, I think we're just going to run it back. I mean, shrinking the Tarmogoyf does seem pretty good now. We see all the removal that our opponents are bringing in, that our opponent is bringing in. Followed up by a Leyline, and that would shut down the Crocs plan. So I think it's worth it. Hopefully we'll see it in our opening 7 with a playable 6 next to it. Oh, sigh. Another one lander that is full of good stuff, but I'm assuming our opponent will kill everything just like before. 23 lands, folks. Not enough. One lander again with the Leyline and the Emrakul in our hand. So effectively this is we have to mold a 6. This will be a 4-land hand when it's all said and done. I guess we could put the Emrakul on the bottom at least. That's something. But it's another one lander. What is going on, Magic Gods? 2 lands, Leyline. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely keep this. So what goes to the bottom? The Hierarchs. See if this helps our cause in any way. Could get the Overgrown Tomb. We need the double red for Lukka. I mean, our opponent kept 7. Unless they have a handful of Hierarchs, which they get, or sorry, of Tarmogoyfs, which still grow with our graveyard. So Leyline isn't even that good against them. I have a feeling that this game's already over just because of the mulligans. I mean, that's the way it is sometimes. You just are unlucky with your opening 7s. And you could say it's a deck building issue, but we all know that. What do we? So this footfall crater is great. Do we want to just pitch it to the Bitter Reunion though? We could cycle it. We're so far behind on everything right now. Yeah, I mean, we're going to pitch it to the bitter union. I mean, sometimes you just lose to bad opening sevens. I mean, you saw what we had in game 2. And yeah, while we might should have gone to 5, you saw what happened this time when we went to 5. I mean, it's an okay hand, but our opponent has removal hand disruption. And we saw 2 one-landers in our opening 7 for both mulligans. Or, sorry, for our 7 in both mulligans. So, yep, Ragavan. Very unfortunate turn of events for us. Very frustrating loss. And it feels like we're losing the variance more than oh no, Lukka. We didn't want to draw that yet anyway. Feels like we're losing the variance more than we are to anything else at this point. Hierarch at least is something we can cast that advances our board, lets us put something on the board just to get killed. We need to hit another land to get the Karn out, and even then I'm not sure what we get with the Karn. We could get the Tormod's Crypt to target ourselves if they play a bunch of Goyfs. I imagine they're on the dash in the Ragavan plan, though. That's what I'd be doing. Because we have no, I mean, we are not incentivized to block in any way whatsoever. We've been stuck on mana. It doesn't trade, it doesn't kill the creature anyway. If we saw the power of the deck in game 1, we saw what it could do against even a Jund deck. Game 2, we just got really unlucky with not hitting lands until it was too late. And in this game, we also had a mulligan. So it is what it is. Let's see what they do. Tarmogoyf. Yep. Still 3-4. Thanks to us. I might as well cast our Ragavan, right? And sacrifice their own. Yep. Why not? So we could play the Karn, and then it would die. Our opponent has 4 cards in hand. Man, it's so good. Play the Karn, it would die. We could play the Karn and go get. Okay, they honestly don't even know what we would get. Chalice to play on. I mean, that's just nothing that. We're just so far behind this game. I think we're going to just have to try to fatal push the Ragavan that they got off of us. I mean, they had to sack their own, so it doesn't matter. Take our beats from Tarmogoyf, which would be a 4-5. Or they'll play a Blood Raid Elf here. Nope. I don't know why they must have some follow-up here. Probably, who knows. All right, so what we'll do is we're going to fatal push this, and assuming our opponent has nothing in their 4-card hand to follow this up, what we'll do is play the Karn next turn, get the Tormod's Crypt, shrink the Goyfs. What we'd really like to see here are 2 Goyfs from our opponent. Let's go ahead, play all them Goyfs. Hey, it's another Goyf. Hey, it's another Goyf. All right, that's what we wanted to see, folks. And there's our Lukka. Can we find a way out of this game? Can we figure out a path to victory? Our opponent's thinking no. And I'm also thinking no. But we are 1 land away from getting to Emrakul. Now, the problem with this play is if our opponent plays a fetch land, waits for us to crack the Tormod's Crypt, they can still hit us for 6. And if they do put anything in the graveyard, they can hit us for 6. So, and yeah, if I was them, I would just attack. We're going to end up, they're going to be 1/2s. No, because it does exile. Great. The Tormod's crit hits the graveyard and gets exiled with it. Nice. I did not realize that. So they're 0/1s. And they're going to put a land into the graveyard, make them 1/2s. Oh, no, ley line. Our plan has come together. Give us a land, deck. Give us a land. One time, deck. One time. Our opponent thought they had us, but I thought they had us. I forgot. We've hosed all the graveyards. Just a land, please, for the love of magic gods. And they can't even get our Lukka. We are one draw away from actually coming back in this game. One time, one time, one time, one time. Hey, it's a land! It is a land. We got there. Is it enough? Will it be enough? And we win the match, and opponent scoops it up. What a comeback for Lukka. Surprise. I can't believe it. Oh, I didn't even get to tell him to watch the video.